Everyone thinks Isabel is the villain of Disventure Camp, or maybe Spencer, or maybe even Jade. But what if I told you the real villain might be someone no one expects? Anastasia Sizova.
Men often underestimate me. They think I'm all beauty and no brains, but when you have to fight this male-dominated world, you tend to learn a few tricks.
To start off, when viewing Anastasia's background, she is a 24-year-old Russian-Australian model since childhood, and even won Miss Russia in 2021. However, despite her looks, she craves to be known for her intellect. Her reason for joining the show is because of her love of photography. She wants to be the one behind the camera someday. But back when she was young, her family suffered financial problems, and so she was forced to become a model without thinking about whether she even wanted to be one. Because of her past experiences, she wasn't able to live a normal childhood, causing her to be wary and not easily trust those around her.
I became a model at a very young age. My parents paid little mind to whether I enjoyed the career. Rather, they focused on the money that could be made off of me. I may have gotten my family out of financial strain, but it was at the expense of my childhood. My vigilance protects me.
During the start of Disventure Camp Season 4, she was able to befriend Marissa, who saw her as a person, not some Barbie doll. Aside from that, Anastasia wasn't able to get close with most of the boys, aside from Logan. However, Anastasia was in a girls' alliance with Marissa, as well as Isabel, Natalia, and Linda. However, she never aligned with Linda because of Linda constantly being unpredictable and making choices that could hurt the girls' alliance. Like, for example, Linda blaming Marissa for their loss in episode 2, even if Linda lost as well. Or Linda voting against the girls' alliance during episode 4. Because of that, Anastasia never trusted Linda and wanted her gone. Up until episode 8, Anastasia was with 3 people she trusted, such as Marissa, Natalia, and Isabel, as well as somewhat trusting Logan. Anastasia was in a safe position until it all came crashing down in episode 9, when Isabel was team swapped with Spencer, and Linda betrayed the girls' alliance, causing Marissa's elimination. From Anastasia's perspective, she realized that the reason Marissa was eliminated was that Marissa was trusting too easily. Even when Marissa let Linda back into the alliance and was looking out for her, Linda still betrayed her. Because of this, Anastasia had never felt alone in the game until episode 9. The only person left in her team that she could align with was Natalia, and it wasn't even a strong bond. Back when this episode happened, I thought what would happen was that Anastasia would never trust anyone anymore, and she would work alone. But of course that didn't happen, and it makes sense, because how would she have even survived the pre-merge if she stopped socializing? Anastasia, despite her distrusting nature, she's smart, and she knows that she needs to make moves to win, and so because of that, she was able to somewhat put her trust in Logan and maybe Natalia. But during Linda's elimination, many lines could foreshadow what would happen to Anastasia in future episodes. There's this line from Anastasia about her not trusting Natalia anymore.
It's done. She's finally gone. But Natalia didn't make it easy. My list of enemies continues to grow.
As well as this line from Linda talking to Anastasia.
And Anna, I actually admire that you're a driven young woman. Take it from me, model. Don't let yourself get bitter.
And what's crazier is that Linda's line was said again in her exit interview.
But, I truly do hope she doesn't let it all, this make her bitter in the end.
It's like they're basically saying that something's going to happen to Anastasia. But the question is, how? We know that Anastasia is friends with Logan. She's neutral with Natalia. She's forming an alliance with Zayd. Am I saying that one of them is going to betray Anastasia? Well, not exactly. I have this question. Who is that one person whom Anastasia was in an alliance with ever since the beginning and has never betrayed her? I'm talking about none other than Isabel Carboni. And it makes sense. So far, the only person who knows about Isabel's manipulative side are Jade and Natalia. Also, Anastasia does know that Isabel is strategic because of Benji's elimination, but I doubt Anastasia realized that Isabel was manipulating everyone for her own benefit. But here's another question. What would Anastasia do when she realized one of the few people she trusts was hiding an immunity idol since episode 2? What else could spiral someone's trust issues than realizing that a nun who symbolizes purity and love is actually just a selfish manipulator?
After everything, people are probably still thinking, what's Nun doing here? How is she gonna lie or backstab anyone? Well, I'm here to win $1 million, and when it's all over, I'll pray for forgiveness. All as intended. Natalia vouchsafed, so Hannah doesn't feel completely betrayed. Work some PR miracle to bring Hannah back into our alliance. And Hannah now has us. And only us.
It makes sense too. Like, I understand that Isabel's strategic, but she isn't evil. It would not feel right to portray a nun as a villain. It's more likely that Isabel is more of a secondary antagonist who causes the main antagonist to spiral. And it does make sense for Disventure Camp, like how Ria was originally a kind person until she let the game change her. I believe something like that would happen to Anastasia, but this time it revolves around her trust issues. But if Anastasia stopped socializing, then how could she still win? Well, simple. It's either that she still has an alliance solely for the game's purpose, or she'll be like Hunter in Season 2, where he got a constant winning streak.
I am not afraid to get my hands dirty and do what needs to be done to win.
But even after all of that, if that doesn't happen, then I at least believe that she's going to be somewhat of an anti-hero. Anyways, that's my hero on Anastasia's arc in Disventure Camp. Is she a villain, an anti-hero, or something else entirely? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm Aris, and if you like breakdowns, theories, and all things storytelling, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one.